Okay, let's talk about Caleb. Hi guys, it's Mimberly and welcome back to the channel. First off, I want to apologize for the state that I was in this morning. I've been having a lot of trouble sleeping lately since I've been back at work, and waking up at like 5:30 is not really my lifestyle. It's not really my decision. So I apologize that I looked really, really fucking tired in that video. But as you can see, Mim's woken up now. She's had about 4 cups of coffee today. I'm joking. I'm joking. I've only had two. Don't come at me. But we are here to talk about Caleb. Now, kind of following on from the trailer I dropped this morning, I've had a few kind of 3 minutes to sit down, have a proper think about how I feel with regards to Caleb as a love interest and everything like that. What we obviously saw in the trailer. And there's a few things that I have kind of thought about and just want to discuss and get your opinions on as a community before he drops on the 22nd. So I've made some notes on my second screen. So if you see me flicking over, it's to make sure I don't miss anything. First off, I just got to start by saying thank you for the support on that video. Like, that was not my best reaction, I will be blunt, but we still nearly hit 3K views on it, which is ridiculous because that's crazy numbers to me. So thank you for the comments and the support. There are a few things that I have wanted to talk about. First off, 100% I am still a Silas girly. Nobody is going to take the crown away from my king being Silas, but with the way things are currently going, I'm starting to personally suspect that Caleb may become second on the list. Now, there's a few reasons for this, which is one of the reasons I wanted to talk about it today. So first off, he's got the whole childhood best friend vibe. I'll go into this a little bit more later. He genuinely seems like, even though he's a bit obsessive, he kind of looks like he's got the right, what's the word I'm looking for? He's got the right, motives, and he's got the MC's kind of best interest in heart, really. He just may be a tad bit possessive and crazy, but we're a Delulu, so that's fine, we stand that. Um, I've been seeing a lot of people kind of saying that they're either leaning towards Caleb or they can't look past the childhood best friend thing. So that's kind of one of the things I want to talk about. First off, out of everyone, Caleb and the MC are giving me Adam and Eve vibes, and I think that's why there might be potentially, it's just a theory, I think that might be why there's so much emphasis on the apple. Because every time we've seen Caleb, an apple is referenced. His profile picture on our phone in Love and Deepspace is an apple. He has an apple in his trailer. His pendant has also got an apple. And there's just so many references to apples, so that's kind of giving me very forbidden fruit vibes, which could potentially lead to Adam and Eve's reincarnated or something along those lines. I don't think Caleb is like a reincarnated thing. Like, for example, obviously we know Sane was the forestier in a previous kind of like timeline slash lifetime. Obviously Xavier's from the future. Raphael was or technically still is, the god of the sea. Silas was obviously a dragon who then reincarnated into who he is now, but he still retains his memories from being a dragon. Genuinely, it's just like there are so many different kind of theories I'm thinking of, and honestly, seeing the trailer earlier after watching it again for a second time and fully like focusing on what was happening, my heart is starting to warm up to Caleb a little bit, because I think the memories that we saw in the video, I don't think the memories are going to be kind of present. I think they're going to be memories for past memories that happened between the MC and Caleb before he became a colonel. Now, the reason I think this is for multiple reasons, but the main reason being there's a lot of potential suggestions of them kissing. Now, I'm going to get into this a little bit in just a moment, but I think, and I'm going to hate saying this because, I'm a Silas girly at heart, I think Caleb is going to get his kiss with the MC first before, or a lot sooner than Silas did with MC. The reason I think this is because one thing I have noticed with Love and Deepspace, they are very good at pacing certain character stories. So, for example, Silas, again, I'm using Silas because he's the one that I've got the most experience with and the one I kind of, no pun intended, resonate with the most. He is very flirty, he's very teasy, that sort of thing. But I don't think he would want to force the MC. Like, he wants the MC to remember him and, resonate with him and get along with him. That's one of the reasons why he looked quite angry when we were in the M109 zone, talking to the shopkeeper, say when he told Silas, look, she can't resonate with you because it's like it's not a physical thing, it's something she's just subconsciously rejecting you. And as we warmed up to him, we started getting the tether. We resonated for the first time, and over time, MC has become a lot more gradually comfortable with him, which eventually led to the Night of Secrecy card. Now, that was technically our first kiss with him, because we don't include the dragon myth, because even though they technically did kiss in that timeline, it's faded out. So the first time we've ever seen MC kiss Silas was the Spice card. And there's been a lot of very spicy moments between those two. Like Lost Oasis was a perfect example. I would have melted if that had been me in that situation. But Silas and MC have a very teasy, flirty relationship. Meanwhile, with Caleb, if she's got a lot more background context that kind of leads up to what the situation is now, regardless of what that's going to be, because obviously we get some sort of interrogation with those two in the next part of the story. I personally think that Love and Deepspace are purposely timing it so each relationship is paced differently. Now, I think that's for multiple reasons. Obviously, one, from a Love and Deepspace, from Infold's perspective, it means they can kind of control a bit more what cards come out when, because they know that kiss cards and stuff like that are always going to sell well. Now, obviously, we've actually had our Silas Kiss card. I would not be surprised if there's one for Valentine's Day, and obviously we've got Silas's birthday coming up on the 18th of April. Do not judge that, the fact that I actually know that off by heart now, because, you know, our 6 foot tall king, 6'2" king needs his birthday celebrated. Even if Mephisto's nothing is not in there, I'm going to be very disappointed. But there's just so many references, and I think that because Infold is pacing each relationship differently, I think that's why we might be getting either very like cute and comforting cards, or potentially very sexual tension or like romantic tension between the two. So I think the cards that they're going to be pulling will probably be events that happened in the past before the explosion. Another thing I want to talk about, right? A lot of people are telling me they're ready for Caleb, which is great. The reason I have a particular theory about Caleb being obsessive is the best way to word this. I think he's going to be more of a yandere type, because Infold, as much as they would love to, they're not going to be able to please every single player, right? So I think what they're personally doing, I think they're trying to cover as many tropes as possible, so that way there is a love interest for as many players as they can. So for example, obviously you've got Zane, who is kind of the cold, calm and collected, but he shows his soft side in the more intense moments. You've got people like Raphael, who's an absolute goofy, sarcastic icon, but he can come across as very insecure sometimes and naive. And then you got people like you know, Caleb, who is like the childhood friend to enemies to lovers, because that's how it's coming across. It's going to probably turn out. Obviously, I could be wrong, so I'm not like, you know, associated with Infold. I don't have any insider knowledge, and any of us do. I'm just making my own kind of judgments based on what I'm thinking. I'm genuinely starting to believe that Caleb is going to take Love and Deepspace by storm. I really hope that they pull off these banners correctly, because I do think though they are being a bit unfair with the timing of the banners, because we're still financially recovering from the nightly rendezvous banner. Now they're dropping Caleb. We've got Valentine's Day coming up, and we've got Silas's birthday coming up. So I know that Infold is going to basically be a monthly bill for me for the next couple of months. But you know what? We live and learn. I do definitely understand, though, why so many of you have got different accounts now for each love interest, so that way you can save separately, because the amount of the diamonds they give you in the game at the moment just is not enough to keep up. A lot of you seem to be saying that you're vibing with them or pulling for them. But there's one comment I want to point out. It's from Midna78. I'm sorry if I said your username wrong. They said, I think this is going too fast. Of course, they know each other since childhood, bracket same with Zane, but still stress face. I think, again, I still have the gut suspicion that there's going to be past memory cards, and that these are kind of things that happened in the past, so we can get a bit more background as to what Caleb and MC were like before the events of the explosion. I genuinely think, though, Like, they're going to be genuinely quite close, because obviously MC and Zayn lost contact for a little bit. But when it comes to Caleb and MC, it seems like the only time they really lost contact was when Caleb went to the air fleet. Now, his motivations for that, I don't know. So hopefully we get some clarification on that. I think with the whole childhood friends thing as well, it gives Infold a really good opportunity to kind of experiment a bit more, because obviously with the childhood best friends, if they get into an argument or something, they could come up with some really goofy way for them to make up and things like that. Meanwhile, for characters like Silas or Zayn, that might not necessarily make as much sense. So I do think they're going to get a lot more flexibility with Caleb as a love interest, which is going to be really, really interesting. But a lot of people, this is actually another one I wanted to point out. I feel like since he's wearing the necklace in most of them, because he didn't get to wear it before, since he literally died after she gave it to him, so it must be after he returned. That's a very good point, and I can completely see, that point of view. It does make sense that this all happened after. Maybe the memories will be after the interrogation and we've kind of quote unquote made up with him, or maybe we go on a thing of, oh, you need to regain our trust. I don't bloody know. But I genuinely do feel like there's going to be a lot of interesting things with this game. And I'm looking at some of your comments now, and all of you are making really, really good points. I really am excited for Caleb. And I know the Chinese girlies absolutely adore Caleb, and now that the trailers come out, we can see why. And I don't know how I feel with the whole situation when it comes to the other love interests, because obviously Silas is king, no one's going to take his crown. But when it comes to my kind of hierarchy right now, my priorities are kind of Silas, Caleb, and then the main three, the other three being Zayn, Raphael, and Xavier. They're kind of all on the same tier at the moment. And this is one of the reasons I was hoping that the 3.0 to Part 2 live stream was going to announce reruns, because I have been very blessed to have a friend who was willing to let me borrow their account so I could physically play through the memories myself, which is why, obviously, when I play the Love and Deepspace memories, it's me physically playing it. It's not because I've bought an account, because God knows I couldn't afford that. But it's because my friend happens to spend a lot of money on the game, and they're willing to let me borrow their account so I can record it in my own time. And I will always be grateful to that individual, and I love them so, so much, even though I do send her screenshots of my my computer storage, and probably make her cry on a daily basis. But I was very lucky to be able to get that background context, and I know a lot of other players would not have gotten that context. Like, don't get me wrong, you can watch a video, like, for example, I think Lavender does quite a few re-uploads and stuff like that for that. But personally, I find it a lot more impactful if you play it yourself. And that's one of the reasons why when they offered that, I had to 100% take it, because I knew what I was getting myself into, and I have offered that individual money on multiple occasions, trying to kind of say, hey, let me support you. No, they're being stubborn, and instead sent me a £15 donation, which has paid for a brand new tablet, which we're going to be using for recording soon. I am very, very, very excited to begin using it, which means I'm going to see my boys in bigger quality, higher definition. I can't wait. My husband is going to be coming home very, very happily. This was not cheap, so I could not have funded that on my own. So thank you, YouTube money, and thank you guys for supporting me. When it comes to things that we've been talking about in the Discord, 'cause we have like a discussions topic. So we kind of talk about stuff that could potentially be spoilers here. And I'm looking through a lot of what people were saying here, right? And one of the things that I am basically trying to figure out here when I find it. Oh God, hold on, I've lost the bloody comment now. I just added it, for God's sake. Yeah, never mind. I've been looking for like over 5 minutes and I can't find it. So the only thing I kind of really have left to say with regards to Caleb is, I think we can't jump to conclusions just yet. I think we just need to see what happens on the 22nd. Try to keep an open mind, and remember that it is a video game. If the character disappoints, I'm sure Infold will do something to sort it out, especially because, you know, we've been very, very vocal. And honestly, I really hope if I'm going to make a video about what I want in 2025 from Love and Deep Space, maybe we can make this a separate video. Let me know if you'd be interested. The main thing, there's basically four main things that I would like from Love and Deep Space in 2025. So obviously, first one being reruns. You know, that's just a given. You know, I joined the game unfortunately quite late. I'm a completionist. I like to have everything. And sure, it may financially bind me, but the idea of being able to get the previous cards that I've missed out on would be amazing. So I would love for that to be a thing. Second of all, I would like more ways to unlock diamonds without having to spend money. Like, you have obviously Abyssal Chaos every week, you've got the Hunter contest, things like that. But when you kind of catch up, you're waiting for them to reset, and that's pretty much about it. There's not really many other ways in the game to get diamonds, so it does become a lot more challenging trying to save unless you get the daily login. So I would like more ways to get diamonds, even excluding the dailies and the weeklies. The third thing that I would like personally would be more Silas content, which again, that's going to be a complete different video on itself. But I'm again happy to make a video about this if you guys would be interested. And the fourth main thing that I would like from Love and Deep Space may surprise some players. But the thing that I would probably like most, or at least is definitely up there, would be to be able to re-access events that you missed. So, for example, obviously, let's just use the Cat Butler card, for example. There was this whole little mini storyline and things like that that a lot of players who joined after then would miss out on. So imagine if, say, for example, they did a rerun kind of system and they temporarily re-unlocked the events that came out at that time, so that way players who missed it could re-experience it. Obviously, again, I got lucky because I got given an account that already had that. Because I do find it very interesting how different love interests kind of adapt to similar situations. Like, for example, the whole cat thing with Zane, he kind of embraced it. So did Xavier. Raphael kind of eventually got the hang of it, but he was very pouty and against it at first. And Stars just kind of just rode the wave with that sort of thing, really. And I'm curious on how characters like Caleb would react to becoming a cat boy. Like, you know, maybe we'll get a card like that in the future. I don't know. But I just think that we need to be able to access more content that we've missed out on. Even if not the rewards, at least, you know, the actual experience, because I feel like it really gives you context with these characters. And I would really, 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 really like more Silas content. That's probably my number one wish for this year, to be honest, is Silas content, because I put Silas on my title and I get views. So I'm going to be very intrigued to see how Caleb is going to perform in comparison to the other characters when he drops on January the 22nd. We will be playing Xavier's story branch before, so that way we'll be fully caught up before Caleb does drop. That way we can jump on him straight away. I am just waiting for this to finish downloading, and then we will be using the tablet from now on. As of recording this, I have recorded Gem Affection, which is due to be dropping tomorrow. So, in fact, I've got to render that after I render this video. So keep an eye out for that. But it is officially the last memory that I will be recording on this phone. So once Raphael's birthday stuff drops later on this week, all the videos from now on will be on the tablet, which again was thanks to you guys supporting me, just watching the videos, just clicking the like button. It's meant so, so much that I am now able to give it back to you by putting your favorite characters in higher definition. Oh, we may be bringing another Otome game to the channel very, very, very soon. Yeah, keep an eye out.